Single mom asks for food in a fancy restaurant. Billionaire's daughter overhears her request, and what happens next is unbelievable. The bell on the restaurant door chimed softly as Anna walked in. She paused for a second, adjusting Ben in her arms. The 8-month-old baby was quiet, but she felt his weight in her tired arms. Her eyes scanned the room, occupied tables, laughing families, the scent of hot food in the air. Anna took a deep breath. It wasn't easy being here. She approached the counter, where a waiter was organizing plates. Ben wiggled his little arms, curious about the lights in the place. "Excuse me," Anna said quietly, trying not to draw attention. The waiter looked up. Anna felt her face flush, but she continued, "Could you give me the leftovers, please?" The words came out quickly, almost a whisper. The waiter frowned, not quite understanding. Anna adjusted Ben again and tried to explain, "It's not for me. I mean, it is, but I'll pay what I can." The man was speechless. Anna bit her lip, feeling the stares of a few people. Ben made a soft noise, as if he wanted to help his mother in some way. On the other side of the restaurant, at a table near the window, Henry was cutting his daughter's steak into small pieces. Chloe swung her legs in her chair, her blonde hair falling over her shoulders. Her blue eyes were fixed on the scene near the counter. "Daddy," she said without taking her eyes off Anna. Henry murmured, focused on the plate. "That lady over there." Henry raised his head and followed his daughter's gaze. He saw Anna standing at the counter, Ben in her arms, speaking quietly with the waiter. There was something in her posture, a quiet dignity even in a difficult situation. "Oh, what about her?" Henry asked. Chloe tilted her head, observing, "She's asking for food for the baby." Henry paid closer attention. Anna had stepped back a little from the counter, waiting. Ben was playing with a strand of his mother's hair, oblivious to everything. Anna smiled at him, a tired but genuine smile. "She looks sad," Chloe said. The waiter returned with the manager. Anna explained the situation again, even more quietly. The manager stroked his beard, thoughtful. He didn't seem hostile, just confused about what to do. Chloe pushed her plate forward. "Daddy, you can give her my food?" Henry blinked, surprised. "What?" "My food." "So I've eaten enough." Chloe pointed to her plate, which was still almost full. Her baby must be hungry. Henry looked at his daughter, then at Anna. The woman was still waiting for an answer from the manager, gently rocking Ben in her arms. The baby had started to make noises, not crying, but fussing. "Chloe, we don't know her. But she needs help." The girl spoke with the simplicity of someone who sees the world without complications. "And I like helping." Henry was silent for a moment. Chloe was already getting out of her chair. "Can I go talk to her?" Before Henry could answer, Chloe was already walking towards the counter. Henry stood up quickly and followed her. "So excuse me," Chloe said, approaching Anna. Anna turned, hung surprised. Ben immediately fixed his eyes on the blonde girl and smiled, a toothless grin that lit up his little face. "Hi," Anna said, not sure how to react. "Are you hungry?" Chloe asked directly. Anna blinked several times. Henry arrived beside his daughter, a bit awkwardly. Sorry, she's very curious." "It's no problem." Anna shifted Ben in her arms. "Hi, sweetie." Ben reached his little arms out towards Chloe, making cooing sounds. Chloe laughed. "He's cute. What's his name?" "Ben." "Hi, Ben." Chloe made a funny face. Ben laughed, a sweet baby laugh. Henry watched the interaction. There was something natural there, an immediate connection between his daughter and that baby. And Anna, she didn't seem uncomfortable. On the contrary, she seemed relieved that Ben was happy. "Do you want to eat with us?" Chloe asked. Anna blushed. "Oh, you don't have to. I don't want to be a bother." "It's no bother," Henry heard himself say. The words came out before he could think. "Really, we have more than enough food." Anna looked at him, then at Chloe, then at Ben, who was still smiling at the girl. I don't know if—" "Please," Chloe asked. "Ben can sit with us. I know how to hold a baby." Anna hesitated. The manager and the waiter were still there, waiting for a decision on her original request. She felt the stares of other people at the next table. "Only if you let me pay for something," Anna said finally. "Not a chance. Henry replied. "Come on." They walked to the table. Henry pulled an extra chair for Anna. She sat down slowly, settling Ben on her lap. Chloe went back to her seat but didn't stop making faces at the baby. "What's your name?" Chloe asked on Anna. "I'm Chloe, and this is my dad, Henry." "Nice to meet you," Henry said, sitting down. Anna nodded, still a bit tense. Ben, however, was completely at ease. He slapped his little hands on the table, excited by the new environment. Henry called the waiter over. "Could you bring another plate, please?" "You don't need to bring much," Anna said quickly. "Just a little is fine." "Bring a regular plate," Henry confirmed to the waiter. While they waited, Chloe didn't stop talking to Ben. She made funny sounds, and he responded with little giggles. Anna relaxed a bit, seeing her son happy. "How many months is he?" Henry asked. 8. "That's a great age." Chloe loved this stage. Anna gave a faint smile. "He's a calm baby, almost never cries." "You're lucky. Chloe was a hurricane." "Daddy!" Chloe protested, laughing. The plate arrived. Anna looked at the food, a juicy steak, mashed potatoes, vegetables, real food. She felt her eyes well up, but hid it by cutting a small piece. Ben saw his mother eating and reached out his little hand, curious. "Does he eat solid food yet?" Chloe asked. "A little. He still breastfeeds, but he's trying other things." Anna gave a tiny piece of mashed potatoes to Ben. He made a face of approval, getting it all over himself. "How cute," Chloe laughed. "Can I feed him?" Anna hesitated, but there was something about the girl that inspired trust. "You can, just a tiny bit." Chloe got serious, concentrating on the task. She took a small bit of mashed potatoes on the spoon and offered it to Ben carefully. He opened his mouth, trusting. Henry watched the scene. His daughter was beaming. Anna ate slowly, savoring every bite. There was no rush, no embarrassment, just people sharing a table, a meal. Ben clapped his hands after eating, all messy. Chloe laughed heartily. "He's so smart," she said. "He is," Anna agreed, wiping her son's face with the corner of a napkin. "Very smart." For a moment, the restaurant around them disappeared. There was only that table, those 4 people, that simple and real moment. Henry looked at Anna, really looked. He saw a young woman, tired but strong. He saw a mother who would do anything for her son. He saw dignity where others might only see need. And Anna, watching Chloe play with Ben, saw kindness. She saw a child who knew how to see beyond appearances. She saw hope. Ben laughed again, a pure sound that echoed between them. The bond had begun there, at that table, with a shared plate and a baby's smile. Just like that. The parking lot was almost empty when Henry and Chloe left the restaurant. The night air was cool, and Chloe swung her father's hand as they walked to the car. "Daddy, Ben was so cute," she said, jumping over a small puddle on the pavement. Henry unlocked the car and helped Chloe into the back seat. She settled in, putting on her seatbelt. "He really was," Henry agreed, starting the engine. They left the parking lot in silence. Henry drove slowly, in no hurry. The streets were quiet, with only a few cars passing in the opposite direction. Chloe was quiet for a few minutes, looking out the window. "Daddy," she finally said. "Yes." Anna didn't have anywhere to eat, did she? Henry glanced in the rearview mirror. Chloe was serious, her blue eyes fixed on him. "Why do you think that?" She asked for leftovers. Chloe fiddled with her seatbelt strap. Nobody asks for leftovers if they can buy regular food. Henry was surprised by his daughter's perception. She was only 6, but sometimes she spoke as if she were much older. Maybe she was just trying not to be wasteful. Henry tried. Chloe shook her head. "No, Daddy." She was embarrassed. I saw it. Henry stopped at a red light. A family crossed the street at the crosswalk. A father, a mother, and 2 small children, all laughing, carrying shopping bags. "How did you see that?" Henry asked. She turned red when she asked, and she trembled a little. Chloe adjusted her position in her seat. "Just like when I have to say sorry at school. I get embarrassed, but I have to do it anyway." The light turned green. Henry accelerated slowly, processing his daughter's words. And why did you want to give her your food? Chloe took a moment to answer. Henry could see her in the mirror, looking thoughtful. Because she looked so tired, Chloe said softly. And the baby just wanted to be held. Something stirred in Henry's chest, a strange feeling, as if someone had touched a part of him that had been dormant. Ben liked you, Henry commented. He did. Chloe smiled for the first time since they left the restaurant. He laughed when I made a funny face. And he ate all the food I gave him. You were very careful with him. Babies are fragile. You have to be careful. Chloe paused. Anna must get tired from carrying him all the time. Henry turned left onto their street. The houses were all lit up. Families having dinner, children playing in the yards. Everything was very normal, very safe. Daddy, where do you think they live? The question caught Henry off guard. I don't know, sweetie. Do you think they have a house? Henry parked in the garage and turned off the engine. He sat there for a moment, his hands on the steering wheel. Why do you want to know? Chloe unbuckled her seatbelt and leaned forward. Because if they don't have a house, it must be very hard, especially with a baby. Henry turned to look at his daughter. There was a real concern on her face, an unease he didn't expect to see in a 6-year-old. Chloe, have you been thinking about this since we left the restaurant? She nodded. I can't stop thinking about Ben. He must get cold at night. Henry felt that strange sensation again, stronger now. It was as if something inside him was waking up after a long time asleep. They went inside. The nanny was watching television in the living room. How was dinner? She asked, getting up. It was good, Clara, Chloe answered, but without her usual enthusiasm. Clara left after a few instructions about the next day. Henry and Chloe were alone. Let's go brush our teeth, Henry suggested. In the bathroom, as Chloe brushed her teeth, Henry watched her in the mirror. She was focused, but he could tell her mind was elsewhere. Dad, she said, spitting out the toothpaste. Have you ever been hungry? Henry stopped brushing his own teeth. No, sweetie, never. Me neither. Chloe rinsed her mouth and turned to him. But Anna has, right? Henry didn't know what to say. How could he explain the complexities of adult life to a 6-year-old? How could he talk about financial struggles, about unemployment, about the 1,000 reasons that might lead someone to ask for leftovers at a restaurant? Maybe so, he said finally. Chloe nodded, as if that confirmed something she already knew. In her room, Henry helped her put on her pajamas. Chloe was quieter than usual. Dad, can I ask you something? Of course. If we see them again, can I give Ben more food? Henry sat on the edge of the bed. Why do you think we'll see them again? Chloe lay down and pulled the covers up to her chin. I don't know. I just think we will. Henry kissed her on the forehead. Good night, sweetie. Good night, Daddy. Henry turned off the light and left the room, but he left the door ajar. In the hallway, he stood for a moment, listening to the silence of the house. He went downstairs to the living room and poured himself a glass of water. He sat on the couch, trying to understand what he was feeling. During dinner at the restaurant, he had acted on instinct. He saw his daughter wanting to help and supported her decision, simple as that. But now, alone in the silent living room, he couldn't get Anna out of his head. There was something about her that bothered him. Not in a bad way. It was more like she had shown him something he wasn't prepared to see. Henry was used to his world. Meetings, business deals, practical decisions. Everything calculated. Everything predictable. Anna was different. Too real. Too vulnerable. And Ben. That baby had smiled at Chloe, as if he had known her his whole life. There was a simplicity in that smile that Henry had forgotten existed. He thought about the way Anna had accepted help. No drama, no excessive gratitude, just the simple dignity of someone doing what needed to be done. Henry finished his water and went up to his room. He lay in bed, but sleep didn't come easily. He kept thinking about the conversation with Chloe in the car, about her perception, the way she had seen beyond appearances. She looked so tired. And the baby just wanted to be held. His daughter's words echoed in his mind. Henry had built a comfortable, secure life. Chloe had never wanted for anything, never had to worry about basic things like food or shelter. But maybe, in the process of building that security, he had forgotten how the real world worked for most people. Anna had reminded him of that. And for some reason he couldn't explain, that bothered him deeply. It wasn't pity, it was something more complex, as if she had touched a part of him that had been rusting for a long time, the part that knew how to recognize courage when he saw it, the part that understood that sometimes dignity shows itself in the simplest gestures. Henry turned on his side in bed, trying to push these thoughts away, but outside, in the city, he knew Anna was somewhere with Ben in her arms, and for the first time in a long time, that mattered to him. The next morning, Henry woke up earlier than usual. Chloe was still asleep when he passed by her room to check on her. He went down to the kitchen and made coffee. Through the window, he could see the well-kept yard, the clean pool, the high wall that protected the property. Everything perfect, everything secure. But for some reason, it didn't comfort him like it used to. When Chloe came down for breakfast, she was quiet again. "Did you sleep well?" Henry asked. "Sort of." She stirred her cereal in the bowl. "Dad, do you think Anna and Ben had breakfast today?" Henry stopped with his cup halfway to his mouth. "Chloe, it's just that I was thinking, if they don't have a house, where do they get food in the morning?" Henry looked at his daughter. There was something in her concern that was both touching and unsettling. A 6-year-old shouldn't have to think about these things. Or should she? "I don't know, sweetie," he answered honestly. Chloe nodded, as if she expected that answer. "Dad, can we drive by the restaurant today, just to see if they're there?" Henry felt that strange sensation once more, as if Chloe were leading him somewhere he wasn't sure he wanted to go. But at the same time, he knew he couldn't say no. "After school," he said. Chloe smiled for the first time that morning, and Henry realized that without knowing how or when, that woman and that baby had become important to him too. Henry was driving home after picking Chloe up from school when she pointed out the window. "Daddy, stop the car." "What is it?" Henry looked in the direction she was pointing but saw nothing but normal traffic. "There, under the bridge, I saw someone." Henry slowed down, looking for a place to pull over. There was a parking area near the overpass, half hidden among some trees. "Chloe, we can't just... Please, Dad, just to see." Henry sighed and parked. They got out of the car and walked towards the bridge. The sound of traffic above echoed and creating a constant hum. Under the overpass, there were a few people. Henry saw some older men sitting on crates, a woman with several bags, and there, in a more secluded corner. "It's her," Chloe whispered, squeezing her father's hand. Anna was sitting on an old blanket, leaning against the concrete wall of the bridge. Ben was on her lap, nursing. She had improvised a sort of tent with a blue tarp and some ropes. Henry stopped, not sure what to do. Anna hadn't seen them yet. She was focused on the baby, humming softly. "Can we talk to her?" Chloe asked. Henry hesitated. There was something invasive about showing up like this unannounced, but Chloe was already letting go of his hand and walking towards Anna. "Anna!" she called out. Anna looked up, surprised. For a moment, she didn't seem to recognize them. Then, her face lit up. "Chloe, what a surprise." Ben stopped nursing and looked towards the girl. He immediately started smiling, clapping his little hands. "Hi, Ben," Chloe waved. "Remember me?" The baby made happy noises, reaching his arms out to her. Henry approached slowly. Anna adjusted her shirt and sat Ben on her lap, facing Chloe. "Hello," Henry said. "Hi," Anna smiled, but there was an awkwardness in the air. "Sorry." "We're a bit... You don't need to apologize," Henry said quickly. Chloe was already playing with Ben, making faces that made him ecstatic. The baby laughed heartily, clapping his hands. Henry looked around. Anna's home was simple but organized. The blanket was clean. There was a small backpack with the baby's things, some folded clothes. Everything was very tidy, despite the circumstances. "Are you guys living here?" Chloe asked with the naturalness of children. "For now," Anna replied. "It's temporary." Henry watched Anna as she spoke. There was no self-pity in her voice, no pleas for help. Just a simple explanation, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. "Ben's gotten bigger," Chloe commented. "They grow up so fast," Anna laughed. "He already wants to crawl. I'm holding him back all the time." "It must be hard here," Henry said, without thinking. Anna looked him directly in the eyes. "We manage." There was no bitterness in her reply. It was a fact, simple as that. Henry felt embarrassed. There was something about Anna's dignity that made him feel small. She wasn't asking for pity. She wasn't making excuses. She was just living. "Dad brought some things," Chloe said suddenly. Henry blinked, confused. "What?" "In the car. The clothes." Chloe looked at him expectantly. "Didn't you bring them?" Henry hadn't brought anything. But seeing his daughter's hopeful expression and the way Ben kept smiling at her, he nodded. "Let me go get them." He went back to the car and opened the trunk. There was a bag of clothes he was planning to take for donation. He grabbed the bag and returned. "Here are a few things," he said, handing it to Anna. "And maybe they'll fit." Anna opened the bag and saw some children's clothes, a few women's t-shirts, a jacket. "Thank you," she said simply. "Really?" She took out a small t-shirt and showed it to Ben. "Look, sweetie, new clothes." Ben grabbed the t-shirt and brought it to his mouth, exploring it. Anna laughed. "He puts everything in his mouth now." "Oral stage. Chloe was like that too," Henry commented. "She was," Anna smiled. "It's normal at this age." Henry was surprised by her knowledge of child development. Anna noticed, "I used to work at a daycare before. "You like children," Henry observed. "I love them." Anna adjusted Ben on her lap. "I always wanted to have several kids. For now, I only managed this one." She kissed the baby's forehead. Ben snuggled against her, content. Chloe was exploring their little corner, curious but respectful. "Do you sleep here?" she asked. "Yes, we have this tarp for when it rains." "Isn't it dangerous?" Anna followed Chloe's gaze. There were other residents there, but everyone kept a respectful distance from one another. "We look out for each other," Anna explained. "The people here are good folks. Nobody messes with a baby." Henry watched how she spoke, without dramatizing, without trying to shock, just explaining her reality to a curious child. "Does Ben sleep well?" Chloe wanted to know. "So he does. Babies adapt easily." Anna smiled. "He just wants to be held and fed. The rest doesn't matter much to him." Ben had fallen asleep on his mother's lap. Anna adjusted him better, covering him with a small blanket. "He's a calm baby," Henry commented. "Very. He almost never cries." "It's like he knows we need to be discreet." Henry felt something tighten in his chest. The idea of an 8-month-old baby already knowing he needs to be discreet bothered him deeply. "Anna," he said, without planning the words, "do you need anything besides the clothes?" Anna looked at him, assessing. "We're fine." "Really? But if I need something, I'll ask." Anna smiled. "I promise." There was honesty in her promise. Henry believed her. Chloe approached again, careful not to wake Ben. "Can I come visit you guys again?" Anna looked at Henry, silently asking for permission. "Of course," Henry replied. "If it's not a bother." "It's never a bother," Anna said. They stayed for a few more minutes, talking. Anna mentioned she had found some odd jobs during the week, babysitting for other people who also lived there, helping with cleaning in exchange for food. "You work a lot," Chloe observed. "Everyone works," Anna replied. "It's just that sometimes the work doesn't show up where we want it to." Henry was impressed by the way she explained things, without bitterness, without rebellion, just reality. When they left, Chloe was quiet in the car. "She's strong, isn't she, Dad?" Henry looked at his daughter in the rearview mirror. "Why do you think so?" "She wasn't sad when we left. She just waved and smiled." Chloe paused. "And she takes care of Ben all by herself." Henry drove in silence, thinking. Anna hadn't asked for help, hadn't complained, hadn't told a dramatic story to move them. She had just been herself, a mother taking care of her son the best way she could. And there was something about that which Henry deeply respected. It wasn't pity he felt for her, it was admiration. "Dad," Chloe said as they were nearing home. "Yes?" Can we bring them more things tomorrow? Henry parked in the garage and turned to look at his daughter. What kind of things? Food, clothes for Ben, maybe some toys. Henry nodded. We can do that. Chloe smiled. Anna is a very good mom, isn't she? Henry thought about the way Anna had settled Ben on her lap, how she had explained everything with patience, how she had maintained her dignity even in a difficult situation. She is, he agreed, a very good mom. And for the first time since he met Anna, Henry was sure of one thing. He was going to do something to help. Not out of pity, but out of respect. The sky was overcast when Henry left the office. Dark clouds were gathering on the horizon, and the wind had changed direction. It was going to rain hard. He drove faster than usual to pick up Chloe from school. When he arrived, the first drops were already starting to fall. It's going to storm, Chloe observed, getting into the car. Sure looks like it. Henry turned on the radio. The weather forecaster announced heavy rain for the next few hours. Possibility of flooding in some parts of the city. Dad, Chloe said suddenly, what about Anna and Ben? Henry looked at the sky. The rain was getting heavier. What about them? They're under the bridge. If it floods... Henry hadn't thought of that. The area where Anna was staying was in a low-lying part of the city. If it rained too much, it could be dangerous. Can we go check on them? Chloe asked. Henry hesitated for a moment, then changed direction. Just to take a look. The rain was really coming down when they got near the bridge. Henry had trouble parking because visibility was poor. They ran under the overpass. Water was already starting to stream down the concrete walls, forming small puddles on the ground. Anna was huddled with Ben under the blue tarp, trying to stay dry. The baby was crying softly, scared by the sound of the rain and thunder. Anna, Chloe shouted to be heard over the noise of the storm. Anna looked up, surprised. She was wet. Her hair stuck to her face. Ben was wrapped in a blanket, but he was still shivering. Are you guys okay? Henry asked, approaching. The rain is getting in everywhere, Anna replied, trying to adjust the tarp. I can't keep everything dry. A gust of wind shook the tarp, and more water poured into their small shelter. Ben cried louder. Henry looked around. The other residents under the bridge were also battling the storm, but everyone was dealing with their own problems. Anna, he said, making a quick decision, come to my house, at least for tonight. Anna looked at him, hesitant. You don't have to. We'll be fine. As if to contradict her, another thunderclap echoed, even louder. Ben got scared and cried with more intensity. Anna tried to calm him, but she was clearly worried. Anna, look at this rain, Henry insisted. It's not going to stop anytime soon, and Ben is scared. Anna looked at her son, then at the storm outside. The water was already starting to pool on the ground. Just for tonight, Henry said. Just so you can stay dry. Anna bit her lip, clearly torn between pride and necessity. Okay, she said finally, just until the rain passes. They quickly gathered the most important things, Ben's backpack, some clothes, his blanket. Henry carried the baby to the car while Anna and Chloe brought the rest. In the car, Anna took Ben back and tried to soothe him. The baby was still agitated, but he gradually calmed down in his mother's arms. Thank you, Anna said softly. You don't have to thank me, Henry replied, turning on the heater. Chloe was in the back seat, watching Ben with concern. Is he okay? Just scared, Anna explained. Babies don't like loud noises. Me neither, Chloe admitted. They drove in silence for a few minutes. The rain beat hard against the windshield, and Henry had to concentrate to see the road. Anna, he said, breaking the silence. How long have you been living there? Anna took a moment to answer. A few weeks. And before that? Anna sighed, adjusting Ben on her lap. I had a small apartment. Nothing much, but it was ours. What happened? Anna was quiet for a long moment. Chloe was also paying attention, waiting. Ben's father left us when he found out I was pregnant, Anna said finally. He just disappeared. Left a bunch of debts in my name. Henry felt anger rise in his chest, but he said nothing. I tried to work as long as I could. But no one wants to hire a pregnant woman, and after Ben was born, Anna shook her head. No one will hire me with a baby in my arms. What about daycare? Henry asked. Too expensive, and there's a waiting list. Anna looked out the window. I was left with debts. I lost the apartment. I tried staying with my sister, but she's struggling too. Ben had fallen asleep, lulled by the car's movement. Anna covered him better with the blanket. I don't have any family to help. My parents died when I was young. She paused. It's just me and him now. Chloe leaned forward. Can I hold Ben? Anna hesitated. He's sleeping. I'll be careful, Chloe promised. Anna looked at Henry, who nodded. Very carefully, she passed the baby to Chloe. Ben settled into the girl's arms without waking up. Chloe became very serious, focused on the responsibility. He's very light, she whispered. He was born small, Anna explained. But he's growing well. Henry glanced in the rearview mirror and saw Chloe holding Ben with all the care in the world. There was something touching about the scene, a 6-year-old girl taking care of a baby as if he were the most precious treasure. Anna, Henry said, have you tried seeking help? From the government, things like that? I've tried, but it's complicated. A lot of paperwork, a lot of bureaucracy. Anna sighed. And in the meantime, we need to eat every day. Henry understood. The system was slow, and real life didn't wait. That's why you were at the restaurant that day, he said. That's why. Anna looked at Chloe, who was still holding Ben. Your daughter has a very big heart. She was the one who wanted to help, Henry said, and you let her. Anna smiled for the first time since they got in the car. That says a lot about you too. They arrived at Henry's house. The rain was still falling hard, but they managed to get inside without getting too wet. In the living room, Anna looked around with quiet admiration. Everything was beautiful, comfortable, clean. What a beautiful house, she said. Thank you. Henry felt a bit awkward about the contrast. Would you like some coffee? Something warm? I'd love some. Chloe was still holding Ben, who had woken up and was looking curiously at the new environment. He didn't seem scared, on the contrary. He was fascinated by the different lights and colors. Can I show him my toys? Chloe asked. He's still too little to play, Anna said, but you can show him. He likes to look at colorful things. In the kitchen, Henry made coffee while Anna warmed a bottle for Ben. She moved with ease, as if taking care of the baby were the most natural thing in the world. Anna, Henry said, pouring the coffee, you don't have to go back tonight. The rain isn't going to stop. Anna took a sip of the coffee and sighed with pleasure. I don't want to abuse your kindness. It's not kindness, it's just the right thing to do. Anna looked at him for a long moment. Why are you doing this? You don't even know me. Henry thought about the question. Why was he doing this? Because Chloe is right, he said finally. Everyone deserves help sometimes. And because there was something about Anna that he respected, the way she cared for her son, the way she maintained her dignity even in hardship, the way she didn't ask for more than she needed. Thank you, Anna said simply. In the living room, they found Chloe showing a colorful rattle to Ben, who was trying to grab it with his little hands. He likes it, Chloe announced. Hannah sat on the couch and took Ben on her lap to give him his bottle. The baby drank eagerly, clearly hungry. Henry watched the scene. For the first time in weeks, Anna looked relaxed. Ben was warm, fed, safe, and Chloe was beaming, helping to take care of the baby as if she were part of the family. Outside, the storm continued, but inside, everyone was at peace. Anna felt a quiet relief she hadn't experienced in a long time. It wasn't just about being dry and warm. It was about not being alone in that moment. It was about feeling, for the first time in months, that maybe everything could turn out okay. The next morning dawned clear. The storm had passed, leaving the air clean and fresh. Henry woke up early, as always, but this time there were voices coming from the kitchen. He went downstairs and found Anna making breakfast. Ben was sitting in an improvised high chair, actually a regular chair with cushions around him so he wouldn't fall. Good morning, Henry said, surprised. Good morning, Anna smiled. I hope you don't mind. I always wake up early and I thought I'd make breakfast. You don't have to. I know, but I wanted to do something. Anna poured coffee into a cup and handed it to him. To thank you for last night. Henry took a sip. The coffee was perfect. Not too strong, not too weak. This is great. Ben clapped his little hands on the table, demanding attention. Henry approached. Good morning to you too. The baby smiled and made cooing sounds. He was clearly in a good mood. He slept well, Anna said. I think he liked a real bed. Henry had offered the guest room to Anna and Ben. It was simple, but comfortable. And you? Like a rock, Anna laughed. It's been a while since I slept properly. Chloe appeared in the kitchen, still in her pajamas. Anna, you're still here. Still here. Anna helped Chloe sit at the table. Want some pancakes? You know how to make pancakes? Chloe asked, excited. I do. I learned to make them with few ingredients. As Anna prepared the pancakes, Henry watched how she moved around the kitchen. She knew where everything was, as if she had lived there for years. There was a naturalness to her movements that was comforting. Ben started to get restless in his chair. Anna picked him up and continued cooking with one hand, as if it were the most normal thing in the world. Let me hold him, Chloe offered. Are you sure? I'm sure. I know how to hold a baby now. Anna carefully passed Ben to Chloe. The baby settled into the girl's arms, content. He likes you, Anna commented. Can I like him too? Chloe made faces at the baby Cam, who laughed. He's like a little brother. Henry felt something stir in his chest at that comment. Chloe had always wanted siblings, but after his wife died, he never considered starting a new family. The pancakes were ready. Anna served everyone, including a tiny piece for Ben, who tried to grab it with his hands. He eats this already? Henry asked. A little bit. He still nurses a lot, but he's trying other things. Anna wiped Ben's hands with a napkin. You have to introduce new foods slowly. After breakfast, Anna automatically started cleaning the kitchen. Anna, you don't have to, Henry said. I know, but I feel better helping. She washed the dishes efficiently, put everything back in its place. The kitchen was spotless in minutes. Where did you learn to be so organized? Henry asked. Necessity. Anna dried her hands. When you have little space and few things, you learn to keep everything in its place. Henry looked at the living room. There were a few of Ben's toys scattered around, but nothing excessive. Anna had managed to make the house accommodate a baby without it becoming a mess. Anna, he said, making a decision, can I make you a proposal? Anna stopped organizing and looked at him. What kind of proposal? Do you want to work here as a housekeeper? Anna blinked, surprised. What do you mean? The house is big. I work a lot. Chloe has school. We need help. Henry paused. And you need a job. Anna was quiet for a moment, processing. Are you offering out of pity? No. I'm offering because you do good work. Look at this kitchen. Anna looked around. Indeed, she had transformed the space in just a few minutes. Can I bring Ben? Of course, Chloe adores him. And the pay? Henry mentioned a figure that made Anna's eyes widen. That's a lot, she said. It's what's fair. Anna looked at her son, who was playing quietly with Chloe. Yes, she said finally. Anything dignified I'm grateful for. Then it's settled. Anna smiled, and Henry realized it was the first truly joyful smile he had seen on her face. Can I start today? If you want. I want to. And Anna started immediately. First, she did a walkthrough of the whole house, understanding what needed to be done. Henry was impressed by her methodology. I'll start with the bedrooms, she said. Then the living room, bathrooms, and finally the kitchen again. You have a plan, Henry observed. Always. It's more efficient that way. Chloe was at school, so Anna could work with more focus. Ben stayed in the living room, surrounded by pillows, playing with some safe toys. Henry left for the office but came back at lunchtime. The transformation was impressive. The house was spotless, but it was more than that. There were small details that made a difference. Flowers Anna had picked from the garden and placed in a vase, pillows arranged more cozily, curtains opened at the right angle to let in more light. Wow, Henry said, looking around. Does it look good? Anna asked, a little anxious. It looks incredible. It feels like a different house. I like to make things beautiful, Anna said. It doesn't cost anything, and it makes a difference. Ben was sleeping on the couch, surrounded by pillows. Anna had improvised a little corner for him in every room of the house. Did he bother you while you were working? Babies adapt, and he's very calm. Anna adjusted the blanket over her son. He knows Mommy needs to work. When Chloe got back from school, she stopped at the living room door, speechless. Wow, it's so different. Anna tidied everything up, Henry explained. It looks beautiful. Chloe ran to Anna and hugged her. Fine, are you going to work here always? If your dad lets me, Anna laughed. I will, Henry confirmed. Chloe picked up Ben as soon as he woke up. The baby was in an excellent mood, smiling at everyone. He's happy here, Chloe observed. He really is, Anna agreed. I think he can feel when I'm calmer. In the following days, a routine was established. Anna would arrive early, bring Ben, start her work while Henry had coffee, and Chloe got ready for school. The house had never been so organized and welcoming. Anna had a special way of taking care of the details, a towel folded differently, a soft scent in the rooms, small arrangements with leaves from the garden. How did you learn these things? Henry asked one day. The internet, magazines, observation. Anna was folding laundry. I've always liked beautiful homes. Even when I lived in small places, I tried to make them look nice. Ben was sitting on the floor next to her, playing with colorful clothespins Anna had set aside for him. You have a talent, Henry said. Thank you. Anna smiled. It's nice to be able to use it for something useful. The house had been transformed in a subtle but profound way. What were once just functional rooms now breathed life and warmth. In the living room, Anna had rearranged the furniture to create a more inviting space. The sofa was repositioned to encourage conversation. A side table now held a simple arrangement of dry branches she brought from the garden, and the pillows were arranged in a more casual and inviting way. It's not just cleaning, is it? Henry observed, admiring the changes. Anyone can clean, Anna replied, adjusting a picture on the wall. But turning a space into a home, that's different. Ben was fascinated with all the changes. Each room had gained a little corner for him, a safe place where he could be while Anna worked. In Henry's room, it was an area near the window with pillows. In the living room, a space surrounded by pillows on the rug. In the kitchen, the improvised high chair where he could watch everything. He feels at home, Anna commented, watching Ben crawl confidently down the hallway. You both do, Henry observed. Anna stopped folding towels and looked at him. It's strange, she said. It's been a long time since I felt like I belonged somewhere. Chloe always helped when she got home from school. She had become a sort of assistant to Anna, especially in taking care of Ben. Anna, she said one day, can I give Ben a bath? With help, Anna replied. He's still little. In the bathroom, Anna showed Chloe how to bathe a baby. Chloe was extremely focused, taking the task very seriously. First, we test the water temperature like this, Anna taught, touching it with her elbow. It has to be warm, not hot or cold. Why with the elbow? Because the skin on your elbow is more sensitive than on your hands. If it's good for the elbow, it's good for the baby. Ben loved the bath. He laughed and splashed water, getting Chloe soaked. He likes to play in the water, Chloe laughed, trying to hold on to a wriggling Ben. Just like you when you were little, Henry commented, watching from the doorway. After the bath, Anna dressed Ben in a clean outfit that Chloe had picked out. The baby was sweet-smelling and happy, ready to play more. Can I brush his hair? Chloe asked. You can, but gently. Babies have sensitive scalps. Chloe carefully brushed Ben's light curls. The baby sat still, enjoying the attention. There, he's beautiful, Chloe announced. Henry watched the scene and felt something warm in his chest. There was a naturalness in the interaction between Chloe and Ben that was touching. She had taken on the role of a big sister without anyone asking. Chloe has a way with children, Anna commented later. She's always wanted siblings, Henry admitted, and now she has Ben. Temporarily, Henry said, but the words came out without conviction. Anna looked at him attentively but didn't reply. The The third week of Anna's work brought even more visible changes. She had asked for permission to reorganize some rooms, and Henry agreed, curious to see the result. The kitchen now had small pots with herbs that Anna planted: basil, parsley, chives. "It's pretty and useful," she explained. And it naturally sensed the room. The garden, which had always been well-maintained but impersonal, gained a special corner. Anna had created a small vegetable patch where she planted herbs and some greens. "So Ben can learn where food comes from when he grows up," she said. "You think far ahead," Henry observed. "Mums always think far ahead," Anna smiled. "Oh, it's the job." Ben had started to crawl more and explored the house with growing curiosity. Anna had baby-proofed all the rooms, covered outlets, corner guards, small objects out of reach. "The house is different," Chloe commented one day. "It feels like there's always been a baby here." It was true. The house had naturally adapted to Ben's presence, as if he had always been part of the family. "I like it when she's here," Chloe said to Henry, when Anna went to organize something in another room. "Why?" "The house feels more alive." Chloe thought for the right word. "Before, it was just you and me. Now there's Ben, there's Anna. It's like a real family." Henry was surprised by his daughter's perception. It was exactly what he had been feeling but couldn't put into words. The house really was different. It wasn't just the organization or the cleanliness. It was as if it had gained a soul. In the morning, there was the smell of coffee and pancakes. During the day, the sounds of Anna humming as she worked, Ben making baby noises, small conversations in the kitchen. In the afternoon, Chloe playing with Ben in the living room, Anna folding clothes or preparing a tasty snack. It was life happening inside. Henry realized that Anna wasn't a guest, not even just an employee. She had become a presence. Someone who was part of the functioning of the house, of everyone's well-being. And Ben had brought a new energy to the environment. His laughter, his curiosity, his need for cuddles and attention had awakened something maternal in Chloe and something paternal in Henry that he didn't even know existed. "Dad," Chloe said one afternoon while Anna was feeding Ben his bottle, "when Mommy died, I thought our family was over." Henry stopped reading and looked at his daughter. "And now I think our family is growing again." His daughter's words echoed in Henry's mind. He looked at Anna, who was humming softly to Ben, and at Chloe, who was organizing the baby's toys. It was a simple domestic scene, but there was something deeply comforting about it. When Anna left at the end of the day, taking Ben home, the house felt strangely empty. Henry and Chloe had gotten used to the sounds, the smells, their constant presence. "It's weird when they leave," Chloe commented one night. "It is," Henry agreed. "I did. Can Anna and Ben live here forever?" Henry looked at his daughter, seeing hope in her blue eyes. "Why? Because now I know what it's like to have a big family, and I like it." Henry didn't answer right then, but the question echoed in his mind. He was also enjoying having a big family. He was also enjoying seeing the house full of life. He was also beginning to wonder what it would be like if Anna and Ben were no longer temporary, but a permanent part of their lives. "Anna," Henry said at the end of the first week. "Thank you." "For what?" "For making the house breathe again." Anna looked at him, not fully understanding. "It's just, after my wife died, the house felt kind of still. You two brought life back here." Anna smiled, a soft, understanding smile. "We help each other," she said. "You gave me a job and a safe place for Ben. I take care of the house. Everyone wins." But Henry knew it was more than that. Anna had turned that house into a home, and Ben had turned two lonely people into a family that was starting to feel less and less temporary. At night, after Anna and Ben left, Henry would sit in the living room, observing the small signs of their presence: a forgotten toy, the soft scent of perfume in the air, a cushion still indented where Anna had sat. It was then that he noticed the silence, a silence that no longer existed during the day. And it was then that he began to understand that maybe he didn't want that silence to become permanent again. 3 months later, life had found its own rhythm in Henry's house. It was a Monday morning when he came down to the kitchen and found the scene that had become familiar. Anna preparing coffee while humming softly. Ben sitting in his high chair, banging little spoons on a plastic bowl, making his own music. "Good morning, maestro," Henry said to the baby. Ben stopped banging the spoons and gave a wide smile, showing 2 little teeth that had come in the week before. He reached his arms out towards Henry, asking to be picked up. "Someone wants attention," Anna observed, smiling. Henry picked Ben up without hesitation. The baby immediately started playing with his tie, fascinated by the smooth texture of the fabric. "He's going to wrinkle your tie," Anna said. "It's okay." And it really was. Henry had gotten used to arriving at the office with little marks of Ben's presence. A strand of hair stuck to his jacket, a small food stain on his shirt, sometimes even a forgotten toy in his pocket. "Daddy?" Chloe appeared in the kitchen, already dressed for school. "Can I feed Ben breakfast today?" "You can," Anna replied. "But remember, very small pieces." Chloe approached with a mashed banana in a bowl. Ben immediately got excited, clapping his little hands. "Easy, Ben. Slow down," Chloe said, with the patience of an experienced older sister. Henry watched the scene while drinking his coffee. In the last few months, Chloe had transformed. She had always been a caring child, but now there was a new responsibility in her. She took care of Ben with a touching dedication. "Open up." Chloe made the little spoon into an airplane. "Vroom, vroom, here it comes." Ben opened his mouth and ate, all getting messy. Chloe laughed and carefully wiped his little face. "He's eating better," Anna commented. "It's because Chloe has patience," Henry said. "It's not just patience." Anna looked at the girl fondly. "It's love. Ben feels that." Henry felt something tighten in his chest. There was something in the way Anna spoke of love, simple, natural, as if it were the most obvious thing in the world. After Chloe left for school, Henry stayed for a few more minutes before going to work. Anna had started to tidy up the kitchen, and Ben was on her lap, watching everything with curiosity. "Anna," Henry said, "Thank you for what you do for Chloe." Anna stopped putting away the dishes and looked at him. "I don't do anything special." "Yes, you do. You take care of her in a special way." Anna smiled, a soft smile that lit up her face. "She's easy to love." The words hung in the air between them. Henry felt his heart beat a little faster. There was something in the way Anna had said that, looking directly into his eyes. "I have to go," Henry said, a bit awkwardly. "Of course. Have a good day." In the car, Henry thought about the conversation. Lately, these small exchanges of glances had become more frequent, moments where it seemed there was something unsaid, lingering between them. When he returned home in the late afternoon, he found Anna in the living room, sitting on the floor with Ben. The baby was trying to crawl after a colorful ball, determined to reach it. "He can almost do it," Anna said, seeing Henry arrive. "How many months is he now?" 11. He'll be 1 soon." Henry sat on the couch, watching Ben struggle to crawl. The baby managed to move a few inches and was ecstatic, clapping for himself. "Smart boy," Henry commented. "Very..." "And stubborn too," Anna laughed. "When he wants something, he doesn't give up." Ben finally reached the ball and immediately put it in his mouth. Anna quickly took it from him. "Everything still goes in his mouth," she explained. Henry watched Anna play with Ben. There was a naturalness to her gestures, an infinite patience. Even after months, he was still impressed by her ability to be a mother 24 hours a day. "Don't you ever get tired?" Henry asked. "Of what?" "Of him. Of being responsible for someone all the time." Anna picked Ben up and settled him comfortably on her lap. "Sometimes," she admitted. But then he smiles, or does something new, and I forget about being tired." "What if you had a break? A few hours just for yourself?" Anna looked at him in surprise. "I don't need..." "Everyone needs one. When was the last time you did something just for you?" Anna looked thoughtful. "I don't remember." "How about Saturday? Chloe and I can watch Ben for a few hours. You two don't know how to take care of a baby. Chloe does, and I can learn." Anna hesitated. "He'll miss me." "Anna," Henry said softly, "you deserve a break." Anna's eyes filled with tears, but she blinked quickly to hold them back. "Thank you," she said quietly. When Chloe got home from school, she found Anna and Henry talking in the kitchen while Ben played in the playpen Henry had bought. "Hi," she said, running to pick Ben up. "How was your day, Ben?" Ben laughed and grabbed Chloe's hair. "He always does that," Chloe laughed. "I think he likes my hair." "He really does," Anna confirmed. "He does the same thing to me." "It's because we have similar hair," Chloe observed. It was true. Chloe's blonde hair was similar to Anna's, and Ben seemed fascinated by the texture. "Chloe," Henry said, "how about we watch Ben on Saturday so Anna can have a day off?" "Really?" Chloe's eyes lit up. "Can I take care of him by myself?" "With my help," Henry said quickly. "It'll be fun." Chloe was excited. "Can I give him a bath and put him to sleep?" "You can," Anna smiled, "but you have to follow his routine." "I know his routine by heart," Chloe said proudly, and she really did. Over the last few months, she had memorized every detail of Ben's care. She knew what time he ate, slept, played. She knew his quirks, his favorite toys, the songs that calmed him down. On Saturday, Anna went out for the first time in months without Ben. Henry and Chloe were in charge of the baby for 4 hours. "Are you nervous, Dad?" Chloe asked, seeing Henry check the list of instructions Anna had left. "A little," Henry admitted. "Dad, relax. I'll teach you." And Chloe really did teach him. When Ben got hungry, she showed her dad how to prepare the bottle at the right temperature. When the baby wanted to play, she chose the appropriate toys. When Ben started to get sleepy, she sang the songs Anna always sang. "You're a great big sister," Henry said, watching Chloe rock Ben. "He's my little brother," Chloe said naturally. "Even if we're not related by blood." Henry felt something stir in his chest at that declaration. "Chloe, you know that Ben and Anna might not stay forever, right?" Chloe looked at him seriously. "Why would they leave?" "Because, well, they have their own lives. But they're happy here," Chloe said. "And we're happy with them." "It's not that simple." "Why not?" Henry didn't know how to answer. In Chloe's mind, it really was simple. They liked each other. They were happy together, so they should stay together. When Anna returned, she found Ben asleep on Henry's lap, who was on the couch watching TV with Chloe. "How did it go?" she asked quietly. "Smoothly," Henry replied. "He's an angel." "You guys did well." Anna carefully picked Ben up so as not to wake him. The baby snuggled against her, sighing contentedly. "And you? How was your afternoon?" "Strange," Anna admitted. "It's been so long since I was alone that I almost forgot what it was like. But was it good?" "It was." "Thank you." Anna looked at Henry holding Ben, and something passed between them. A longer gaze, a silent connection. "Dad," Chloe said suddenly, "can I sleep here in the living room tonight, to be close to Ben?" "Anna is taking him home," Henry explained. "Why doesn't she sleep here? It's already late." Henry looked at Anna, who seemed to consider the suggestion. "If it's no bother," she said, "it really is late for Ben." "Of course it's no bother." That night, for the first time, Anna and Ben slept at the house as if it were natural, not as guests or employees, but as family. In the morning, Henry woke up to the smell of pancakes and the sound of laughter coming from the kitchen. He came downstairs to find Anna, Chloe, and Ben having breakfast together, like a normal family on a normal Sunday. "Good morning, sleepyhead," Chloe teased. "Good morning," Henry smiled, joining them. It was a simple scene, but there was something deeply comforting about it. A sense of completeness that Henry hadn't felt in years. "Dad," Chloe said after breakfast, "can I ask something?" "Of course." "Do you like Anna?" Henry nearly choked on his coffee. "What do you mean?" Like her. Like a man likes a woman." Anna turned red and focused on cleaning Ben, pretending not to hear. "Chloe, it's just that I see how you look at her sometimes," Chloe continued with the honesty of children. And how she looks at you." Henry looked at Anna, who was clearly embarrassed. "Chloe, these things are complicated," Henry said. "Why? You like each other. Ben and I like each other. Everyone likes each other. Why is it complicated?" From a 6-year-old's point of view, it really wasn't complicated. Because adults complicate things, Anna said softly, still not looking at Henry. That's silly, Chloe declared. Love doesn't have to be complicated. Later, when Chloe was playing with Ben in the yard, Henry and Anna were alone in the kitchen. Sorry about Chloe, Henry said. She can be very direct sometimes. She only said what everyone already knows, Anna replied quietly. Henry stopped drying the dishes. What everyone already knows, Anna finally faced him, that there's something going on between us, even if we don't talk about it. Henry's heart sped up. Anna, you don't have to say anything, she said quickly. I know it's complicated. I work for you. I'm a single mum. Our situation is different. It's not because of that. Then why? Henry was silent for a moment. Because I'm scared, he admitted finally. Of what? Of messing things up. We have a good thing here. You, me, Chloe, Ben. It works. What if we try to turn it into something more and it goes wrong? Anna nodded, understanding. So we don't talk about it, she said. We just live. Just live? Just live. No pressure, no promises. Just let things happen naturally. Henry looked out the window, seeing Chloe push Ben on an improvised swing. The baby was laughing heartily, and Chloe was beaming. They're happy, he observed. We're happy, Anna corrected. It was true. In the past few months, Henry had rediscovered what it was to be happy, not just content or satisfied, but genuinely happy. Anna, he said, turning to her. Yes. I like you. Like you, as Chloe said. Anna smiled, a smile that lit up her whole face. I like you too. They looked at each other for a moment, and Henry felt the urge to kiss her, but he didn't. Not yet. So we stay like this? He asked. Just living? For now, Anna replied. No rush. From the yard came the sound of Ben's laughter and Chloe's cheerful voice singing a made-up song. It was the sound of happiness, simple and pure. The once silent home now pulses with life, Henry murmured, more to himself. What? Nothing. Just, the house is different since you arrived. Different how? Henry thought for the right answer. Alive. The house is alive. Anna smiled and briefly touched his hand. It's because there's love here now, she said. Love doesn't need a name to exist. And it was true. There was love in that house, in the daily care, the shared smiles, the small attentions, in the way they all looked after one another. It didn't need labels or definitions. It was just love, growing naturally among 4 people who had met by chance and chosen to stay together. For now, that was enough. Henry was in his office when the phone rang. It was Anna, and there was something different in her voice. Henry, can I talk to you when you get home? Of course. Is everything okay? It is. It's just, I have some news. The rest of the day passed slowly for Henry. There was something in Anna's voice that made him uneasy. A mix of happiness and nervousness he couldn't decipher. When he got home, he found Anna in the kitchen preparing dinner. Ben was on the floor playing with colorful blocks, and Chloe was helping him stack them. Look, Ben, let's make a really tall tower, Chloe said, focused on the task. The baby clapped his hands every time the tower fell, finding the game hilarious. Hi, Henry said, kissing his daughter's forehead. How was school? Good. I learned division today. Want to see? Later. First, I need to talk to Anna. Anna dried her hands on a towel and turned to him. There was a sparkle in her eyes, but also a certain apprehension. Let's go to the living room, she suggested. They sat on the couch while Chloe continued playing with Ben on the kitchen floor. The children's laughter reached them like a happy soundtrack. So, Henry asked. Anna took a deep breath. I managed to rent an apartment. Henry felt his stomach drop. Really? It's small, but it's ours. Mine and Ben's. Anna smiled, but the smile didn't reach her eyes. So I managed to save enough money from working here, and I found a place that fits my budget. Henry was silent, processing the information. Part of him knew this day would come, but he wasn't prepared for it. "That's good news," he said finally, trying to sound cheerful. "It is," Anna agreed, but her voice didn't sound completely convinced either. "Where is it?" "About 20 minutes from here. It has a little room for Ben, a small kitchen, a living room that also serves as my bedroom." Anna clasped her hands in her lap. "It's modest, but it's honest." "When are you moving?" "This weekend. If you don't mind me continuing to work here." "I can come in the morning and go back in the evening." "Of course I don't mind," Henry said quickly. "You can always work here." They were silent for a moment. From the back of the house came the sounds of Chloe making up stories for Ben, who responded with excited giggles. "Why did you decide to move?" Henry asked. Anna looked at him, then averted her gaze to the window where she could see the garden she herself had helped tend. "Because I want Ben to grow up seeing that we can get back on our feet," she said softly. "I want him to know that his mother is capable of taking care of him on her own. You've already proven that, not completely. I'm still depending on your kindness for a roof over my head. Anna, you work here. You earn your own money. It's not dependency." Anna sighed, running a hand through her hair. "I know, but it's important to me to have our own place, even if it's small. I want Ben to learn that we can manage on our own." Henry understood, even if he didn't like the idea. There was something about Anna's need for independence that he respected, even if it meant losing her from the daily routine of the house. "I understand," he said, "but we'll miss you. A lot." "You'll still be a part of our lives," Anna said quickly. "You and Chloe. Nothing will change, just the address." But Henry knew everything would change. There would be no more breakfast together, no more the sound of Ben playing echoing through the house all day, no more Anna humming as she worked. There would be no more the feeling of a complete family that he had rediscovered in recent months. "How are you going to tell Chloe?" he asked. Anna bit her lip. "I don't know. She's going to be sad." "She will." "Very." From the other room, they heard Chloe talking to Ben. "When you grow up, I'll teach you how to ride a bike and how to swim in the pool. It'll be fun." Henry's heart ached. Chloe was making plans for a future that included Ben. How could he explain that this future would now be different? They decided to tell her during dinner. Chloe was in a good mood, talking about school and playing with Ben, who was trying to eat by himself and making a huge mess with his food. "Look at him," Chloe laughed. "He's all messy." Ben smiled at the compliment, showing his little white teeth covered in food. "Chloe," Henry began, "Anna has some news to share." "What news?" Chloe asked, excited. "Is it about Ben? Is he going to learn to walk?" Anna wiped Ben's hands before speaking, buying time. "I managed to rent an apartment for Ben and me." The smile vanished from Chloe's face instantly. "An apartment?" "Yes, a little place just for us." "But you're not going to live here anymore." "We'll still come every day," Anna explained carefully. "I'll work here, Ben will play with you, but at night we'll sleep in our own apartment." Chloe was quiet for a long moment, processing the information. Her eyes began to glisten with tears. "You don't like staying here anymore?" "We love staying here," Anna said quickly, reaching out to touch Chloe's arm. "It's wonderful here. But it's important to have our own home." "Why?" Anna looked at Henry, asking for help. How could she explain concepts like independence and dignity to a 6-year-old? "Sometimes people need their own space," Henry tried to explain. "Not because they don't like where they are, but because—" "But we're a family," Chloe interrupted, and the tears began to fall. Families live together. Ben, sensing the change in the atmosphere and seeing Chloe cry, started to get fussy too. His lips trembled as if he were about to cry. "Chloe," Anna began, getting up to approach the girl. "No!" Chloe stood up from the table, knocking her chair over in the process. "I don't want you to leave." The noise of the falling chair startled Ben, who finally burst into tears. Anna quickly picked him up, trying to calm him, but she was visibly shaken herself. "Honey, it's not forever." Anna tried to soothe Chloe over Ben's crying. "It's just for sleeping. We'll be here every day." But Chloe was inconsolable, sobbing loudly. "It's not the same. It's not the same thing." Henry approached his daughter, trying to hug her, but she moved away. "I miss my mom so much," she cried, the words coming out between sobs. "And Anna, she was being like a mom to me." Chloe's words hit Anna like a punch to the stomach. Her own tears began to fall as she rocked Ben, who was gradually calming down in her arms. "Oh, my love," Anna murmured, approaching Chloe with Ben still in her arms. "I'm not going to stop being your friend. Never." Chloe finally let herself be hugged, clinging to Anna with one hand and stroking Ben with the other. "But you'll leave every night," she cried against Anna's shoulder. "What if you don't come back? What if you decide you don't want to take care of us anymore? I will always come back. I promise," Anna said, her voice thick with emotion. "Every day, without fail, you can count on me." Henry watched the scene with a heavy heart. There was something deeply wrong here. They had become a family, and now they were separating over issues of pride and independence that perhaps weren't worth it. "Chloe," Henry said softly, joining the group hug. "Come here, sweetie." Chloe extended an arm to include her father in the hug, creating a tight circle with Ben at the center. "She's still going to be here with us, sweetie," Henry said, stroking her blonde hair. "Only the place where she sleeps has changed, but not the bond." "What do you mean?" Chloe asked, sobbing. "Anna is our family now. It doesn't matter where she sleeps. The love is still the same. The care is still the same." Chloe looked at her father, then at Anna, who nodded in confirmation. "Really? Really," Anna confirmed, wiping her own tears. "I will continue to take care of you all every day. I will continue to make pancakes for breakfast. I will continue to help you with Ben. And Ben, he's going to miss it here." Anna looked at the baby, who had calmed down and was now watching everything with curious eyes, as if trying to understand all the emotion. "Ben will adapt. Children adapt," she said, but her own voice trembled slightly. Even as she said it, Anna wondered if she was doing the right thing. Ben had gotten used to this house, to this routine. He knew every room, every sound, every smell. It was the only home he really knew. "When are you leaving?" Chloe asked in a small voice, tired from crying. "Saturday." "Can I help you pack your things?" Anna smiled through her tears. "Of course you can. I'd love your help. You can choose which of Ben's toys go to the new apartment. And can I visit?" "Whenever you want, always." In the following days, the house felt strange. Everyone knew that Anna and Ben were leaving on Saturday, and it created a melancholy that no one could completely hide. Chloe clung even more to Ben, as if wanting to cherish every minute with him. Ben, in turn, seemed to sense that something was changing. He became more clingy, wanting to be held more, crying when Anna stepped away for a few minutes. "He knows," Anna commented to Henry one morning. "Babies feel these things." And when Saturday arrived, everyone felt the weight of the farewell, even knowing it was just a "see you tomorrow." It was almost midnight when Henry passed by Chloe's room and saw a small light on. The door was ajar, and he could see his daughter sitting on the bed, hugging a pink pillow that had been a gift from her mother. Henry knocked lightly on the door. Chloe, still awake. "Hi, Daddy," she replied softly without looking up. Henry entered the room and saw what was capturing his daughter's attention. In her lap was an old photo album, pictures of her mother that she hadn't looked at in months. "Can't sleep?" he asked gently, noticing his daughter's red eyes. Chloe shook her head. Her blonde hair fell over her shoulders, and she looked smaller, more fragile in the soft light of the lamp. "I was looking at pictures of Mommy," she said, carefully turning a page in the album. "I wanted to remember the way she took care of me." Henry's heart ached. Since Anna had moved out 3 days ago, Chloe had been different, quieter, more thoughtful. As if something important had left her life again. "Can I sit here with you?" Henry asked. Chloe nodded, making room beside her. Henry sat down slowly and looked at the photos she was viewing. It was a sequence from Chloe's first birthday party. His wife Sarah was holding their daughter on her lap, helping her blow out the single candle on the small cake. "Try remember this picture," Henry said, his voice thick with nostalgia. "You made a huge mess with the cake, chocolate even in your hair." "Mommy didn't get mad," Chloe remembered, gently tracing her finger over her mother's image. She just laughed and said that kids were supposed to make messes. That it was part of being a kid. Henry smiled, remembering Sarah's laughter that day, the way she had hugged a messy Chloe without caring about her new dress. Your mum was like that, patient with you, caring. Chloe slowly turned a few more pages. There were pictures of Sarah giving baby Chloe a bath, reading her stories in the living room armchair, teaching her to take her first steps in the garden. "Daddy?" Chloe said after a long silence, her voice almost a whisper. "Anna takes care of me like Mommy used to." Henry looked at his daughter, seeing tears forming in her blue eyes, the same eyes as Sarah. "Oh, what do you mean, sweetie?" "In the same caring way. She brushes my hair gently when it's tangled, just like Mommy did. She listens when I tell her about school and asks questions, as if she really cares." Chloe paused, wiping a tear with the back of her hand. "And she takes care of Ben just like Mommy took care of me, with patience as with love." Henry felt his throat tighten. In recent months, he had seen Anna naturally take on a motherly role with Chloe, but he hadn't really stopped to think about how it was affecting his daughter. "Do you miss Anna?" Henry asked carefully. "A lot," Chloe admitted, her voice trembling slightly. "It's different now. She comes in the morning and leaves at night. It's not the same as when she lived here. But she comes back every day." "I know, but it's not the same." Chloe turned another page, showing a picture of Sarah cooking with Chloe in a high chair. "Mommy was always here. When I woke up in the morning and when I came home from school, when I went to bed." "Anna was like that too. Now you feel like she's gone too," Henry completed. Chloe nodded, a tear rolling down her face. "Is it silly to be this sad?" "No, sweetie, it's not silly." Henry put his arm around Chloe's shoulders, pulling her close. "You're right. Anna did take care of you like a mother does." They sat in silence for a few minutes, flipping through the album together. Henry hadn't looked at those photos in a long time. It was hard to see Sarah so alive, so present in the images, knowing she would never come back. "Daddy," Chloe said softly, "sometimes I forget what Mommy's voice sounded like. And that makes me sad." Henry felt his own eyes well up. "I forget sometimes too," he admitted. "It's normal. But with Anna, it's like I can remember again what it's like to have a mum around. Not the same as Mommy, but similar." Henry looked at his daughter, impressed by the wisdom of her words. "You have her eyes," Henry said, gently touching Chloe's face. "And her sensitive nature too. I miss your mother every single day, sweetie, and I think Anna helped us remember that life goes on." "What do you mean?" "That even though we miss Mommy, even though we'll love her forever, we can be happy again, in a different way, but happy." Chloe snuggled against her father's chest. "Are Anna and Ben our family now too?" "They are. In a special way, a very special way they are." "Then why did Anna leave? Shouldn't families stay together?" Henry sighed, "Because sometimes people need to prove to themselves that they can take care of their own lives, not because they don't love us, but because it's important for them to feel strong. But I wish they would come back to live here. The house is too quiet without them." "Me too, sweetie. I miss it too." They hugged in silence. For the first time since Sarah's death, Henry felt that he and Chloe could share their grief. It was no longer just him carrying the pain alone and trying to protect his daughter. Now they could miss Sarah together and also dream about the future together. "Dad," Chloe said, "Shai, can we visit Anna and Ben tomorrow?" "We can. How about we call her in the morning? Can I bring a new drawing for Ben?" "You can. He always loves your drawings." Chloe finally smiled. "And can we bring flowers for Anna from our garden to make her apartment pretty?" "Great idea." Henry kissed his daughter's forehead and helped her settle into bed. "Now try to sleep, okay?" "Okay, Daddy." "Yes?" "Thanks for talking to me about Mommy and about Anna. I feel better when we talk about the people we love. Whenever you want, we can talk." The next morning, Henry called Anna right after breakfast. "How are you two adjusting?" he asked. "Fine," Anna replied, but there was something in her voice that didn't sound entirely convincing. Ben was a little unsettled the first night, but he slept better yesterday. And you? Anna took a moment to respond. I'm adjusting too. It's different. Chloe wanted to visit you today. She misses Ben, if it's convenient. Of course. What time? It would be great to see you. How about for lunch? I can bring food. You don't have to. I can cook for you. I want to show you how the apartment turned out. At 11 in the morning, Henry and Chloe were at the door of Anna's small apartment. Chloe held a colorful drawing, a family of stick figures under a yellow sun, and a bouquet of assorted flowers from the garden. Anna opened the door with Ben in her arms. The baby immediately smiled and reached his arms out for Chloe. Ben, Chloe exclaimed, I missed you so much. He missed you too, Anna laughed, but Henry noticed she looked a bit tired. He spent all of yesterday pointing at the door, as if he wanted to go out and find you. The apartment was small but cozy. Anna had managed to create a warm atmosphere with few resources. There were flowers in small vases, some photos taped to the wall, and Ben had a neat little corner with his toys. It looks beautiful, Henry said, looking around with admiration. Thank you, it's small, but it's ours. Chloe was on the floor with Ben, showing him the drawing. Ben tried to grab the paper, fascinated by the colors. This is us, Chloe explained to the baby. You, me, Anna, and Daddy, all together. Can I put it on the fridge? Anna asked. You can, so Ben can see it all the time. During lunch, Anna had prepared a delicious chicken with vegetables. They talked about the first few days in the apartment. Anna said that Ben had found the new environment very strange, and the commute. Is it difficult going back and forth with Ben? Henry asked. A little, Anna admitted, especially on rainy days, but we manage. Chloe was playing with Ben in the small living room, making him laugh with funny faces. Look at her, Anna observed. How much she takes care of him like a real big sister. She loves you both, Henry said. Very much. We love you too. There was something in the air, a nostalgia mixed with hope, as if everyone felt that this separation wasn't working as it should. Anna, Henry said after they finished eating. Can I ask you something? Of course. Are you really happy here? Anna looked around the small apartment, then at Chloe and Ben playing together. It's a new beginning, she said carefully, and new beginnings are important. But are you happy? Anna sighed. I miss you, she admitted, more than I imagined. The house is so quiet when Chloe is at school and you're at work. And Ben, he keeps looking for you all the time. From across the room, Chloe was singing a made-up song to Ben, who was trying to clap along. If we're always together anyway, Chloe said suddenly, stopping her song and looking at the adults. Here's why don't you live with us again? Anna and Henry looked at each other. The child's question had a simple logic that they had complicated with adult issues. Anna smiled, a soft but meaningful smile. That's a very smart question, she said. Henry felt his heart race. There was something in Anna's gaze that he recognized. The same thing he was feeling, that maybe they had tried to separate something that actually wanted to stay together. Anna, he said, holding her gaze. What if we built a new routine, with time, with patience, but together? Anna looked at him, then at Chloe and Ben, then back at him. Together how? She asked softly. As a family, Henry replied. Not as boss and employee, not as a favor, but as people who chose each other. Chloe stopped playing and paid attention to the adults' conversation. Are you talking about living together again? She asked hopefully. Anna looked at Ben, who was trying to crawl towards Henry. The baby clearly wanted to be held, wanted the attention of the man who had become a father figure to him. I don't want to be a burden, Anna said. You were never a burden, Henry said firmly. Never. You're a part of us now. Anna felt her eyes well up. Are you sure? Because if we try again and it doesn't work out, it will work out, Chloe interrupted with the conviction of a child. We love each other. Families that love each other stay together. Henry stood up and knelt in front of Anna, picking Ben up. The baby snuggled against him immediately. We stay, he said, echoing the very words she had used months ago. Slowly, But we stay. Anna looked into his eyes and saw sincerity, love, and the promise of a future built together. We stay, she replied, the tears finally falling. Slowly. But we stay, Chloe shouted with joy and ran to hug them both. Ben, caught up in the euphoria, began to clap his hands and laugh out loud. So are we going home now? Chloe asked, radiant. Anna looked around the small apartment that had represented her independence, then looked at the three people who had become her family. Let's go home, she said. And for the first time since it all began, the word home meant the exact same thing to all of them, a place where love lived. The new beginning was complete. Not because they had gone back to what was before, but because they had consciously chosen to build something new together. They had chosen to stay, and this time, it was forever. In the car, on the way home, their real home, Ben fell asleep in Anna's arms, and Chloe hummed a happy song softly. Henry looked in the rearview mirror and saw his family, complete. Finally complete. So thank you, Anna said quietly. For what? For letting me be a part of this, for letting us be a part of you. Thank you, Henry replied, for teaching us that family isn't just blood, it's choice, it's love, it's staying, even when it's hard. Anna smiled and looked out the window. They were going home, all together, as it should have been from the start. Shall you know what's most beautiful about all this? Anna said softly. What? That we're not going back to what was before. We're starting something new, something we consciously chose. Henry nodded, understanding perfectly. It's true. This time it's different, it's real. And it really was. It was no longer about need or convenience. It was about love, about family, about people who met by chance and decided to stay together by choice. When they got home, Chloe ran ahead, opening the door with her father's keys. Ben, look, we're home, she announced to the baby, who woke up and smiled upon recognizing the place. Anna paused at the threshold for a moment, holding Ben in her arms, and took a deep breath. Welcome back, Henry said softly. It's good to be home, Anna replied, and this time nothing and no one would separate them again. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next ones. Leave a like because it helps this story get recommended to more people. See you in the next story.